Sunday night, I invited Arkin Madrigal for a drink. After a long and busy week, I need someone who can drink with me that has a sense of talking. But hindi kayo nag-aya. I didn't bother to give a glance, Ryan who just sat beside my stool. I kept my gaze fixed on the stack of liquors in front of me. "Hi, best friend," he greeted Arkin and transferred beside him. "Back off. You're both very strict. I can't believe I have friends like you." "Same." Ryan sat beside me and became silent, finally. I'm taking a sip on my drink when he whispered, "Take a look at the counter on the left. She's been staring you for hours now," he whispered mischievously. Pasimple kong sinulyapan ang sinasabi niya. I'm not dumb not to notice what he's saying. Pass. Hamalakhak siya. Ngayon ka lang ata nagpas, ah. I smirked. I'm not in the mood. Tumawa siya. Ang hina, Andres. I stood up and tapped Arkin on the back, as a sign that I'm leaving. He simply nods, without looking at me. Tumalikod na ako sa kanaglakad na palabas ng bar. Rinig ko ang tawag ni Ryan sa akin sa hindi kalayuan na hindi ko na inabalang lingunin. I stopped walking when a woman intercepts my path towards the door. I just stared her, not saying anything. She looks confident while smiling me suspiciously. I don't think she's drunk. Have a plan to spend a night with me. I'm not interested. She chuckled as she moved closer to me. She expected me to react, but I didn't. She bit her lower lip, slightly embarrassed. "If you don't like me, bakit hindi mo ako lagpasan?" She tried to challenge me. "You're blocking my way." She laughed. "You can, I won't adjust. Move." I woke up the next day for an early breakfast meeting. I greeted Mr. Chua, one of our new clients in the month of February. We did a little talk before the food was served. I'm not here to eat, so I waited for him to finish his food while drinking my coffee. I'm here solely for business purposes only. My daughter really likes you, Mr. Andres. She wants me to refer her to you, he said as he chuckled meaningfully. I don't do relationships. His eyes squinted as he grinned. She's easy to handle, Mr. Andres. I don't mix business with those kinds of stuff. Tumawa siya, tuwang-tuwa. Should I resign now then? He joked. I shrugged as I smirked. Marriage is not included in my plans. I can't imagine pursuing anyone, solely for the sake of love. It's completely crazy. Fortunately, I'm not into this sort of thing. I need you here, Daniel. Itinigil ko ang ginagawa, binigay na ang buong atensyon kay Papa na nasa kabilang linya. Why? We'll take a short vacation. I sighed as I continue reading and signing papers. Your mom wants to rest for a while. Give me a month. Sure. I'll be putting this down. Make sure to eat your meals, sabi niya bago tuluyang pinatay ang tawag. I drove my way to the Hacienda after a month. It takes me a lot of time in making sure the company is settled. Hindi tatawag si Papa nang dahil lang sa magbabakasyon sila. I'm sure there's a problem with the planta. They've just arrived there yesterday. Daniel. I kissed Mama on the cheeks, and looked Papa. We talked about the planta, and I'm not mistaken that it has a problem. Dave can handle it, but I chose to stay when I noticed that the production is not the only problem. Nagtungo ako sa kwadre ng mga kabayo nang makauwi galing sa pagbisita sa planta. Sinalubong ako ng isang tagabantay sa kaagad itinanong ang gusto kong gamitin na kabayo. I chose Midnight, a black stallion I've owned for 8 years now. I can't remember the last time I saw him. I decided to take a ride with him in the middle of the woods. Ang ilog ay nasa likuran pa ng kagubatan, binaybay ko ang daan patungo roon. While riding peacefully, I saw a woman who's living beside the river. She looked surprised and afraid when she saw me, so I left immediately. Isang tao lang ang kilala kong nakatira sa nagtatago sa gitna ng kagubatan. I'm sure she's that woman. Matapos ang ilang oras na pangangabayo, napagdesisyonan kong bumalik na ng mansyon. Sa ilang taon na hindi pag-uwi ay muntik ko pang makalimutan ang daan pabalik mula sa gitna ng gubat. I pulled the rope when I saw a back of a woman. I watched her silently when she tried to open or lock the gate. I can't see what she's doing exactly since I'm facing her back. I'm ready to ask her a question when she faced me. But I was speechless when she turned around. Naliligaw ka? She asked me innocently. She has no idea who I am. I don't really want recognition, but this thing is different. I want her to know me, that I was living here and not a tourist. She's embarrassed when she realized that I'm not a tourist. She tried to avoid me but she failed. Of course, she will fail. I have a knowledge about our parents' history. It's not a secret in my family. She's soft-spoken, just like her mother. And she maintains a serene demeanor all times. Tila ba kahit anong mangyari ay mananatili siyang kalmado. Even when she's jealous, she's still calm. You will never know her feelings if you're too numb. This is not my purpose in going back here. Klaro pa noong una pa lang na ang planta lang ang tanging sadya ko. Nagbago ang plano ko. I'm planning to handle the plant, but looks what I'm guarding now. However, I am capable of multitasking. One night, Dave went inside the library. He sat in front of the desk as he crossed his arms. Hindi siya madalas pumupunta dito, dahil sa may sarili naman siyang opisina. I heard from Ryan, you bought a yacht. He hit a conversation. Hindi ako sumagot sa piniling ituon ng atensyon sa mga papeles na nasa harapan. Hindi pa kayo, pero binilhan mo na ng yate, he said while laughing. I removed my glasses and looked him. Isinandal ko ang likuran sa swivel chair. How about you? How's your house you just built in Makati? I fired back. His smirk fades as he glared me. I smirked. This brute really thinks that I don't have any idea of what he's doing. How did you know that? Hindi ako sumagot, saka ibinalik ang atensyon sa pagpirma ng mga papeles. Hindi pa kayo pero nagpatayo ka na ng bahay. I mimicked what he said to me earlier. He scoffed, annoyed. Sinubukan niya akong asarin pero mas apektado pa siya sa sariling ginawa niya. Dave stood up when Mama went inside the room. She glanced me before she gave his attention to him. Dave, what do you want to tell me? She asked immediately. About the wedding. Why? I don't want it, he said without a second thought. Itinigil ko ang ginagawa sa pinakinggan ang pinag-uusapan nila. Mama raised her brow in confusion. What do you mean? You agreed. I will choose the woman I will marry. Her eyes widened, shocked. Oh, nagbago. I smirked. He agreed, marrying inconvenience without knowing he might fall into something he didn't expect. But then, my smirk slowly faded when I realized something. How can I laugh when this is also my situation? I thought I don't do relationships, but now, I want that. Mama became silent and after a while, she speaks. Anong gagawin natin? The wedding will be called off, just wait. She nodded while looking Dave suspiciously. I will tell your father about this later, then. I wanted to hold her close to me, so I did. I treated her the way I want her to be treated. But then, that day came. I instructed her to wait for me until I returned. I just need to meet with someone to talk about the plant stocks. We're in the middle of talking when my phone vibrated. Dave is calling, which is rare to happen. What? You need to go to Sarah, he said seriously. Tumayo ako saka nagpaalam sa kausap kahit hindi pa tapos ang dapat pag-usapan. Send me the files, I said before leaving. Malalaki ang hakbang na nagtungo ako patungo sa sasakyan. What happened? There's a rumor just spread, you need to be with her. I ended the call and drove my way back to the Hacienda. Halos paliparin ko na ang sasakyan para lang makarating agad. Where's Sarah? I asked one of the housemaids. Nagulat siya, gulat sa biglaang pagdating ko. She nervously shook her head. Umalis na po, Señorito. Bumalik ako sa sasakyan. I called our agency as I was driving up to her place. Nakabase iyon sa Maynila sa kapansamantalang nasa lungsod dahil sa isang politikong kliyente. Tumigil ang sasakyan ko sa harapan ng bahay. Sumalubong sa akin ang mga kapitbahay na kanina pang nasa labas ng kani-kanilang bahay. I kicked the door making a loud noise. Mabilis kong nilibot ang buong bahay pero walang nadatnan. I can feel the pain in my chest when I saw the empty closet. But I chose to ignore it. Lumabas ako saka mabilis na nagtungo sa sasakyan. Bago pa maisara ang pintuan ng kotse, rinig ko ang bulungan tungkol sa isyu na kumalat. Humigpit ang hawak ko sa steering wheel nang marinig ang galit nila kay Sarah. They must face me after this if they did anything to hurt her. Babalikan ko to. Nakarating ako ng lungsod sa kanadatnan ng pagkalat ng inutusan kong grupo. Sa matatalas na mata, nilibot ko ang tingin sa bus station. Lumapit sa akin ang pinuno ng grupo. Wala sa mga bus, sir. Contact backups and search the nearby cities. Yes, sir. Also, look for CCTV footage to find her. Yes, sir. Then he left. I tried everything I could to find her, but she's just too good while hiding. Uli na nang malaman kung sakay siya ng isang bus na nakita ko kanina. I'm sure she was aware that I was there, but she chose to hide from me. That thought hurts me, big time. Bumalik ako ng mansyon sa kanadatnan si Mama na tulala sa sala. She told me the possible reasons why she left. I'm so mad to the point I blame her and Papa for the happenings. I am sorry. Samandal ako sa swivel chair nang maramdaman ang pamamanhid ng likuran ko. I looked the clock and it was already 2 a.m. I took a sip on my coffee as I stood up to leave the library. Minahal kita sa paraang gusto mo, pero bakit ganoon? I stopped when I heard an unfamiliar voice from the living room. Simple kong niyuko ang nasa ibaba. And there I saw a weak Diana Ortiz, kneeling in front of my father. Nasa likuran niya si Mama saka umiiyak. I want a closure, Arman. Kahit iyon lang, she said weakly. She looks like Sarah, her daughter was a carbon copy of her. I can't imagine Sarah being in that state. I would die first before it would happen. I punched the tiled wall as the water continued to cascade on my body. I'm lost for what to do. In my whole life, I always have backup plans. But now, I can't even think straight. For years, I existed in a state of emptiness. I'm not sure if this is a blessing or a curse, that I'm in pain right now. It's comforting to know that I also have emotions. After taking a shower, I drove to Manila. Hindi ko inalintana ang madilim sa katahimik na daan. Agad kong hiningi ang mga TV footage na nanggaling sa terminal ng bus dito sa Manila. Nagtagal ng halos 1 linggo. Bago ko iyon nakuha, she was bumped by a car that night. Madilim ang lugar kaya hindi kita ang nagligtas saka bumangga sa kanya. I had the documents from various hospitals in my hands right away. Agad kong nalaman ng hospital kung saan siya dinala. She got discharged a few days ago, so it means she's doing fine now. Walang nakapangalang naging guardian ni Sarah sa hospital. Also, the hospital won't provide CCTV footage for privacy purposes. Nadakip na ba ang bumangga? No, sir. Make sure to catch him and bring him to me. Copy, sir. I kept on searching for her non-stop. I hired a group of men to locate her mother. Mabilis ko siyang nahanap pero agad ding naiwala dahil sa ibang kadahilanan. You can't do that, kuya. Papa won't let you, he interrupted immediately. I instructed him to get rid of the people who are living on the Hacienda. They're fortunate enough that I'm not the owner of that fucking land. But I won't stop here. I'm the one who's holding the plant right now. Remove the employees who are on the list. He blew a loud breath in frustration. You're really sure about this? How's the maid? I asked him instead. She's the one who spread the rumors and she's in my hands right now. What's her reasons? Umiling siya, hindi makapaniwala. Her sister used to be our housemaid. The woman was so obsessed with you to the point she committed suicide. I believed her sister has just carried out a vengeful act. I'll do my best to delve deeper. My fist clenched when I processed Sarah's words before. You know what to do. You won't stop, ha? I won't. I stood up and left the office without saying anything. Don't even try me, Isaac. I told you she's not with me, mariin na sabi niya. I punched him in the face. I'd kill him right now if I had the chance. I am the current owner of his private building, and I already have copies of all of the CCTV footage. Kuya. When I turned around, there she is, the person who built and crushed me. Mabilis siyang umatras saka tumakbo palabas ng bar. You cannot escape from me anymore, I swear. Sisiguraduhin kong hindi ka na makakawala pa. Kahit anong subok mo, sisiguraduhin kong hindi ka na magtatagumpay. Kumawala siya sa yakap ng kanyang ina saka tinignan ako. When she saw me from afar, she sobbed uncontrollably. Lihim kong pinagsisihan kung bakit ko pa ito ginawa. Even though it was all about happiness, watching her cry hurt me. Kumigpit ang hawak ko sa singsing na nasa bulsa. I decided to propose formally to her again, but this time, in front of our families. The sun is setting, as a sign the day is about to end. But I'll make sure that this is just the beginning of us. I've met people in my life that have ignited my fire, but you are the first who keeps my embers alive. For the first time in my life, the darkness I used to see with my eyes was replaced by a bright tunnel, with her standing at the end. For years, I've been so lost, but this broken path led me straight to you. I can still remember how whipped I was when I first met her. Unang tingin ko pa lang, alam ko nang hindi talaga para sa akin. She's too soft and innocent. I'm afraid I'm going to taint her. But then, I wanted her so much that I was willing to conquer everything, including myself. I was known for being cold and selfish. I can't make people change their minds about me. But because of her, I want them to know that I've changed. That no matter how selfish and cold I was, I can also be selfless and soft when I'm with her. I lifted her head gently to put it on my arm, bahagya siyang gumalaw pero muli ring natulog. We're currently in the mansion and Dalton is sleeping in my parents' room. We'll be leaving tomorrow for a short vacation on an island, together with my family, except for Natalie who's currently busy with her packed schedules. I will be on leave for the next few days, the reason why I need to do my pending jobs on the company tonight. Ang sabi ko lang kanina ay hihintayin ko lang siyang makatulog saka magtatrabaho na ako. But now, that she's on my arm sleeping, I can't leave her anymore. Sa kagustuhan kong manatili sa tabi niya, kahit yata bumagsak pa ang kumpanya ngayon mananatili pa rin ako. I woke up the next day because of the loud voice of Dalton on our room. Hindi ako gumalaw saka nananatiling nakadapa nang marinig ang kanyang sinasabi. We slept in the middle of Lola and Lolo. Kalyana only transferred to her parents' room midnight because she missed them. She can't sleep without Tita Charlene. I heard my wife chuckled. Nagpatuloy sa sinasabi si Dalton. But I can, Mommy. I can now sleep without you and Daddy beside me, Dalton proudly said. Are you sure? My wife asked playfully. My son became silent for a few seconds. Can I sleep beside you and Daddy tonight? Mahinang tanong nito. Kumalaw na ako saka dahan-daang umahan galing sa pagkakahiga. I harshly combed my hair and looked them. Before I could even look my wife properly, Dalton surprised me with a big hug. We are ready to leave right after eating breakfast, with my entire family, except for Natalie who's currently busy with the upcoming worldwide pageant, since she is the representative of the country. We used an entire van for us to fit. We do not need to use multiple cars, since we will only leave those once we arrive in the city. Sa isang banda kami sa lungsod sasakay ng yate. It's a pier and it will be safer for the kids. Hindi kagaya ng sa likod ng mansyon na kakailanganin pang sumakay ng bangka para tuluyang makalapit sa yate. I'm now planning in building a dock at the back of the mansion. It will not only be more convenient for us, but it will also be safer for the kids. I held my wife's hand while carrying Dalton on my arm. We're now in the dock of the pier, walking towards the yacht. Nangunguna si Papa saka si Mama sa paglalakad. We hired one person to maneuver the yacht. Nang makasakay sa yate, nagpababa si Dalton sa akin para lapitan si Kalyana. He pulled his cousin towards the entertainment room of the yacht to watch their favorite show. They were immediately followed by Charlene. Samahan ko lang. I looked my wife when she spoke. Okay, I love you, I whispered and kissed her on the lips. She slightly pushed my face and chuckled, almost can't believe that I'm being clingy. Nagpaalam lang pero hinalikan na. I only smirked her. Nagpunta ako sa top deck kasama si Dave nang yumandar na ang yate. Papa followed too while Mama went into the entertainment room. Ilang taon na ang lumipas noong huli niyong nagamit ang yate na ito, Don, sabi ni Mang Nilo, ang nagpapander ng yate. This is one of the biggest yachts we have. This is not the grandest one, but it's way bigger than our other yachts. Isa ito sa mga yate na nanggaling sa pribadong pier ni Lucian sa Manila. Ipinahatid lamang dito sa lungsod para magamit ngayon. Umalaklak si Papa, masyadong abala para makapagpasil. Kung wala ang mga apo ko, baka nga hindi magagamit ito. Mabuti naman saka wala kang planong ipagbili ito. No, mahal ang maintenance but still, this is a good investment. Naupo ako sa isang U-shaped sofa sa top deck. You want some? I look Dave and accepts the can of beer he's holding. Naupo siya sa malayong tabi ko. I heard about the latest scandal in your company. One of the board directors got involved in cocaine, si Dave. I opened the can and took a sip of it before answering. Yes, you might probably get dragged into this issue. He should pay for the consequences, he said seriously. I looked him. He's currently watching my father talking to the man maneuvering the yacht. Removing him from his position won't be enough. This scandal was all planned. There's someone who ordered him to do that, knowing that the scandal will affect the investors. Our rival company made him do that, with the promise he will be put in a higher place in their company. I said seriously. He's been loyal to the company for years and knowing he was still able to betray, it's possible that he did that not just for the aim of a higher position. He must have a high expectation of that company, he said coldly. We continued to talk about that matter. Natigil lang ang pag-uusap nang umakyat si Dalton and Kalyana sa top deck. They were followed by my wife, Mama and Charlene. Kalyana went into his father, while Dalton approached Mang Nilo. Is it hard? Is it like driving a car? He asked curiously, while looking the steering wheel of the yacht. Tumawa si Mang Nilo. Nilapitan naman siya ni Papa. Why? You want to try? Natahimik si Dalton sa tanong ni Papa. It took him 30 seconds to finally answer. I don't know. I will ask Daddy first, mahinang sabi niya habang nakatitig pa rin sa steering wheel. I licked my lips and looked my wife when she sat beside me. I immediately snaked my arm around her. Tipid niya akong nginitian sa katinanaw ang harapan ng yate. Is that the island? She asked gently. Ang marahan niyang boses ay tila hangin na bumulong sa akin. Her straight light hair danced smoothly together with the wind. This is not the first time that I got to look her closely, but then again, I can't help but admire how innocently beautiful she is. The spark in her eyes, whenever she looks you, the smile she makes with her thin lips, and the nose scrunches she makes every time she's annoyed me. Everything about her is like a dream. Yes, matagal akong nakasagot. You didn't even glance it, she said softly and chuckled. Natahimik ako sa kanamangha. Bawat reaksyon niya, lahat perpekto. Ang ganda mo, paos na sabi ko. She bit the inside of her cheeks and looked away. We arrived the island, malapit lang ang isla sa lungsod kaya hindi pa umaabot ng 1 oras, nakarating na kami. This is a private island owned by Mama. She bought the island years ago, and only built a rest house. I don't have an idea if she has a plan to build a resort here. This is a huge island, which is a good investment for a business. We went inside the rest house. The rest house has the design of being modern with a little touch of wood details in every corner of the house. Nathalie hasn't graduated architecture yet, but this was her first project. Sumalubong ang mag-asawang caretaker ng rest house. Both Papa and Mama talked to them. We walked towards the second floor to find a room. Dalton fell asleep in my arms. I need to lay him down on a bed to make him more comfortable. My wife went straight to the curtains, covering the glass door towards the balcony. Bahagya niya yung hinawi, binuksan ang glass door para makapasok ang natural na hangin. I lay Dalton on the bed carefully. Bahagyang gumalaw pero muli ring nakatulog. I looked my wife and caught her watching me. She smiled when I met her eyes. Naglakad ako palapit sa kaniyaya siya patungo sa labas ng balcony. I sat her in a hanging chair before making her sit on my lap sideways. I'm fine sitting beside you, love, she said softly. I hugged her waist and planted a soft kiss on her shoulders. It's better here. She put one of her arms around my neck and rested her face on my neck. We just sat there and appreciate the view in front of us. Mula sa kinalalagyan, matatanaw ang sobrang pinusaka puting buhangin sa baybayin. The island is surrounded by coconut trees, making the whole place more relaxing. We rested in our room for almost 2 hours before we go back downstairs. Nang makababa ay wala na roon ang mag-asawang caretaker. Mama asked for Sarah and Charlene to join her cooking for our lunch in the kitchen. I was left to look after Dalton, just like Dave who's also looking after Kalyana. Papa is outside the rest house, probably getting ready for the barbecue set up tonight. Daliano, can you get some snacks? Kalyana asked Dalton. Nalukot ang mukha ni Dalton nang marinig ang itinawag ni Kalyana sa kanya. But even when he doesn't like it, he still answered her. We can only eat nutritious foods. It's not yet Sunday. They're only allowed to eat sweets and junk foods on Sunday. For 6 days, they're only going to eat healthy foods. It's not a policy I made or Dave, but it's a rule imposed by our wife. They're sitting in a beanbag, while I'm on the sofa together with Dave. Daddy, are we not allowed to eat sweets? Kalyana asked loudly, almost throwing a tantrum. I heard Dave sigh. I smirked silently. Perks of having a son. You're not allowed to. Today is not Sunday. Kalyana raised her brows strictly. Can't we have a cheat day? It's bad to cheat, Dalton told her silently. Kalyana pouted cutely and looked her father. Can't we have a small bag of snacks? We can share. You should ask your mommy, baby, mahinahong sabi ni Dave. But you allowed me to eat snacks before even when it's not Sunday. Can we have it again, please? Ngumuso si Dalton habang nakikinig sa usapan. Tinignan pa ako, tila gustong magtanong pero hindi na sinubukan dahil alam na ang sagot. I beat the insides of my cheeks, holding myself not to laugh while looking my son. He's looking me with sadness in his eyes. But when he saw me holding my laugh, he smiled widely and walked towards me quickly. You will let me? He asked happily while resting his little hands on my lap. I smiled. Yes. I can already think my wife's reaction for letting Dalton eat unhealthy food. Sa huli, wala ring nagawa si Dave kung hindi ang pagbigyan din si Kalyana. After having a lunch, we stayed outside the rest house to take a dip on the sea. Nasa labas kami hanggang sa tuluyang bumaba ang araw sa kagamabi na. Our plan tonight is to have our dinner outside. We're going to have a small barbecue party. It was 7 p.m. when I and Dave decided to start the grilling. While Mama, Sarah, and Charlene were in the sun loungers, talking while sipping their wine. Si Papa naman ay naghahanda sa mahabang lamesa kasama ang mga bata. We're in the middle of grilling when Nathalie called me for a video call. She wants to see Kalyana and Dalton. I gave the cellphone and let Natalie talk to them. Hindi nagtagal ay sumali rin si Papa sa pag-grill habang ang mga bata ay nasa lamesa saka nakikipag-usap kay Natalia May. Natalie still has a boyfriend, right? Si Papa. She's still with Nate, I guess. Dave answered. They broke up already, sabi ko. That's a good thing, Papa said silently. Napatingin kami sa narinig na tawanan na nanggaling sa Sun Lounger. Mula sa kinatatayuan, natano ko ang paghagalpak ng tawa ni Mama. Natatawang napailing ng asawa ko habang si Charlene ay nakanguso, pinipigilan ang tumawa. Nagkatinginan kami ni Papa saka Dave sa natatanaw hindi kalayuan. Sa huli, wala ring nagsalita dahil parehas walang alam sa nangyaring tawanan. I wonder what they're talking about. Nang matapos ang pag-grill, nagtungo ako palapit sa kinalalagyan ng asawa ko. They're still laughing, that got me more curious. Tumigil lang sila nang makita akong papalapit. The dinner is ready. Let's eat. I walked towards my wife. Umiti siya, kita pa ang tuwa sa tawanan kanina. I snaked one of my arms on his waist, and pulled her closer to me. Nagtungo na si Mama sa mahabang lamesa, kasama na si Charlene na sinundo na ni Dave. The three of you kept on laughing. May I know what's the reason? Marahang tanong ko. You don't need to know. Wala lang iyon. I raised a brow suspiciously. Bago pa muling makapagtanong, dinala niya na ako patungo sa mahabang lamesa. We started to eat. I'm the one who's feeding Dalton on my lap, while my wife is eating beside me. We should go back here next week, sabi ni Mama. Let's go to another place, Lola. Masayang sabi ni Kalyana habang ngumunguya. Don't talk when your mouth is full. Tahimik na puna ni Charlene sa anak na nasa kandangan ni Dave. Mama chuckled. Where do you want to go? Nilunok muna ni Kalyana ang kinakain bago sumagot. Maldives. That's far. Daddy told me we should have a vacation, in a faraway place so they can make my sister. Kalyana exclaimed innocently. Dave coughed innocently when Charlene glared him. Mama and Papa laughed. Hamalakhak ako. Gago. Kasabay ng tahimik na pagmumura ay ang paghampas ng asawa ko sa akin. Mabuti na lang ay hindi napansin ni Dalton ang sinabi ko. I looked her and caught her glaring me. I was about to apologize when Dalton speaks. How about us, Daddy? When will you make a new baby? Mahinang tanong niya. Napainom ng tubig ang asawa ko. Ngumisi ako, ilan ba ang gusto mo? One sibling is enough for me. We will make a new baby tonight. But you should sleep in Lola and Lolo's room. Napaigtad ako ng kurutin ng asawa ko ang aking tagiliran. Hamalakhak ako. After eating our dinner, Mama took the kids inside the house to have their bath. Sumunod din si Papa sa kanya kaya kaming apat na lamang ang nasa labas ng rest house. We decided to take a rest in a round-written lounge chair that faces the sea. Dave and his wife are on our far left, also sitting in a lounge chair together. This chair has throw pillows and can accommodate 2 or 3 people. You tired? Marahang tanong ko. She's currently leaning on my chest while watching the dark sea in front of us. Tinanggal lang ang tingin sa harapan dahil sa tanong ko. She looked me. Hindi pa naman. Bakit? I promised something to our son. Umirap siya saka ibinalik ang tingin sa harapan. Stop rolling your eyes. Mamaya mo na gawin yan. Napabangon siya. I chuckled and immediately pulled her back to my chest. Nagtagumpay akong maibalik siya. Magtigil ka nga, iritado saka nahihiya niyang sabi. I smirked and kissed the side of her head. Natahimik siya. Hindi na rin ako nagsalita. Namayani ang mahabang katahimikan sa pagitan namin. Tahimik din akong nag-iisip sa kagustuhan ni Dalton kanina. I know it's too much to ask but I want a carbon copy of you. I whispered gently. Tumangala siya saka tinitigan ako. Tinignan ko siya. Can you handle it? Having you is already enough for me. I won't force you if you don't want it. Ngumuso siya saka sumandal sa aking dibdib, nananatiling nakatingala sa akin. I smiled and combed her hair gently. I'm very contented of having you and Dalton. If you say no, I would really understand. Natahimik siya habang nakatitig sa akin. Sige, last na, she said before smiling. Hindi ako sigurado kung dapat ba akong magdiwang sa pagpayag niya. I can still remember how much pain she went through, inside the delivery room. I witnessed all her cries, and struggles inside the room. Lalo na nang matapos ang panganganak niya ay nahimiti pa. If she doesn't want to have another child, I will completely understand. I understand her possible traumas, with the pain she experienced, and knowing that bearing a child was like a 1 foot deep below the ground. Bearing our son made me love her more. The determination she has in her eyes, even when she's in pain that day, made me admire her more. She's not only beautiful, she's also brave. Why are you always staring me? You're doing that for the whole day, marahang puna niya. Ngumisi ako saka hindi nagsalita. She cupped my jaw and sensually caressed it. Feeling ko gusto mo ako. Feeling ko lang, she said and chuckled. I kissed her lips. Pwede bang manligaw? She smirked me playfully. Tumatanggap ka ba ng single mom? Hindi ko napigilan ang paghalakhak. Tumawa siya. Before, I always wondered if love was worth fighting for. I don't have an experience with a romantic relationship, and I've never been envious of it. I'm just curious. Hanggang doon lang. Napalibutan ako ng mga taong nagmamahal, nasasaktan dahil sa tinatawag nilang pag-ibig. I can't help but to think ridiculously of them because of the risk they're willing to take for the love they have to their other half. But now that I have my wife, I understand that now. Just like your name, I'm always peace whenever I'm with you. You made my gloomy nights a lighter one and filled up the voids inside of me. You give me the kind of feelings I'm not even sure if flowery words would be enough. I will always love you, wife, more than any metaphors that can even try to express. Ang ganda ng umaga because of you. Ang ganda ng dream ko, it was all about you. Ang sakit ng ulo ko, puro you na lang ng you. Sabi ni Doc, maybe because I love you more than my life wife. Ang tunay na pag-ibig ay yung hindi mo alam kung bakit mo siya nagustuhan, pero minahal mo siya sa hindi maipaliwanag na dahilan. Makakaya kong gawin ang lahat para sa anak sa pinakamamahal kong asawa. I am Daniel Andres, I promise to love my wife and family until my last breath. Listeners, thank you sa pag-support ng aking kwento. Take care everyone, I love you all. Up next, Señorito Dave and Charlene's story. Hacienda Andres, Señorito Dave.